Since its inception on February 28th, 1995, Denver International Airport has been marred with rumors of dark secrets and being associated with occult organizations. But is this nothing more than over-dramatizing the artistry throughout the airport, or is there something darker and more sinister that lurks the terminals of Denver International? Yeah, so Denver International replaced Stapleton Airport due to it being cramped where it was and not having any more room to grow. And Stapleton, a lot of people felt like it was fine. It still accommodated all the airlines and stuff like that it needed to. It was only 16 miles away from where Denver International was made.
Stapleton, did they just get rid of it completely, or did they just build Denver?
So I think they built Denver first. And then once Denver was done being built, then I think, it finally ended up phasing out Stapleton. Okay. And it became the new hub because they had more room. They were able to add more airlines and stuff like that. So, and with it being kind of a centralized area in the U.S., it made it easy to just say, let's just bring everybody here. So they ended up doing that.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot of mystery and mystique and conspiracy theories that go with Denver International since it's been built. One of those being apocalyptic artwork. So there are 2 murals that were made that have been broken up into 4 parts by an artist named Leo Tangum. I'm sorry if Tanguma. I'm sorry if I messed this name up. I'm not used to that. The 2 different artworks that are there. One of them is called In Peace and Harmony with Nature. And then the other one is called Children of the World Dream of Peace.
That's creepy.
Yeah, but if you look at it, like one of them has like a Nazi type figure with a gas mask on, an AK in one arm and a big ass sword in the other. One of them shows like half the world on fire. There's even a letter written on the corner of one of them where it just looks like a piece of paper, and it has like a letter from a kid who was at Auschwitz written on it. So like it had a very like grim and gloomy feel to it. So I know the artist, he went out and explained that like he didn't mean for it to be that dark and gloomy. He meant for it to be like, things could be brighter. But when you have the mural broken up into 4 different parts and then you just see them as just standalone sections, not the full picture, you're like, this is fucking spooky.
So it's 4 parts and they're broken up. So they're in different places.
So it's 2 different murals that when you combine them, it creates one big picture, but he has it broken up into 4 parts.
Right. And so he put them in different places. So
they're not all together.
So you get the full picture.
Right.
Yeah, that's weird.
That is weird. It's definitely spooky, and it's one of the many reasons why a lot of people start creating these conspiracy theories and stuff involving the airport. Another one was grinning gargoyles. So there are 2 gargoyles that were created by an artist called Terry Allen that are placed in the airport. It's at 2 different ends of the airport, and it's at the end of the luggage claims. So historically, gargoyles were placed on buildings as to protect the property, right?
Right, to deflect any evil spirits or demons or whatnot.
Exactly. And it's funny because they made some of these talking
gargoyles.
Yeah, so they'll actually like say certain phrases and stuff like that.
Like what?
Well, all right, so Denver International Airport, the people that work there and created it and run it, they all know that these conspiracy theories go on. And so one of the phrases that one of these gargoyles will say, they'll say, "Welcome to Illuminati headquarters." I mean, Denver International Airport. So they definitely like play into it and shit. They love it. They've grown to love the shit.
That's funny.
Another thing that, again, these are all conspiracy theories that build up to this grand picture that there's just so much more to Denver International. Secret societies.
Right. Yeah.
So there's throughout history, there's been 3 popular names that get thrown around, right? There's been Freemasons, which are still around, Illuminati, and New World Order. And they've all been kind of linked in a sense to the airport. Evidence, if you will, for this theory is a dedicated capstone at the south entrance of the airport, dated March 19th of 1994, which, mind you, is a year before the airport even opened.
Yeah.
On it, there's messages and that on top of the capstone. Sorry, it says messages and memorabilia to the people of Colorado in 2094. So 100 years they want it to be opened. And there's also a mention of a group on there called the New World Airport Commission, which everyone thought was funny because this group doesn't exist.
Never existed?
Never existed. Now, there is pictures of the Freemasons, which I think you were going to mention that as well.
Yeah, they were saying something about, I guess they had a couple of their names on there.
It was
two guys. They were
Grand
lodges, and they're grand masters.
Okay.
So I guess that's like 2 tiers in the Freemason society.
How many? I wonder how many. I think is there 4? I want to say there's 4 different Freemason lodges, or maybe there's more than that.
We have one here.
I'm sure we do.
It's downtown.
Another weird picture that was on there was a square compass.
Yeah.
Normally you get a circular compass, so to see a square one, a little odd.
Does that mean that the Earth is square?
And flat? Oh no!
Square flat.
What are we doing?
Square to the it's flat to the squared power.
Shut the fuck up. Now, and you can't go to Denver International Airport and not notice Blucifer, as it has been affectionately named. So Blucifer is a 30-foot tall, blue-colored Mustang with illuminated red eyes. It was created by an artist known as Luis Jimenez. The artwork was commissioned in 1992, but it wasn't completed until 2008. There was a delay because in 2006, the artist Luis Jimenez, at the age of 65, he was working in his loft, if you will, his factory, however you want to label it. And a part of Blucifer broke free from its hoist. It collapsed and landed on top of him, severing an artery in his leg, and he bled out right there on the floor because he wasn't able to move a piece off him.
Yeah. It's a heavy son of a gun.
Yeah. So the statue ended up being completed by friends and family. I mean, there were some people that do like the lowrider cars and stuff like that even helped do the painting and shit like that to help complete it. Now, everyone thought that like the red eyes was supposed to be like a demonic thing.
Yeah, and I heard something about the mane too. They were saying something about the mane kind of looked like Medusa's like snake-like hair.
Yeah, so I've heard that too. Now, explanation of it was because the reason why the eyes were illuminated was just because Luis Jimenez did a lot of work with neon lights on a lot of other like statues and stuff like that he worked on. So it had nothing to do with the demonic thing. It was the family and friends' way of trying to pay homage to him for passing away, and that being his last project.
I'm just curious at why blue. Did it explain that?
You know what? I didn't pay attention to. I didn't see anything that specified why the blue. I'm sure there's a reason by it. If you know it, feel free to drop a comment. Yeah. Educate us a little bit.
I get that, you know, Denver is known for horses, obviously, like the Denver Broncos, so clearly. But why blue?
Well, and that's why I thought the coloring, because like the red eyes illuminated, it sometimes could look orange, and then you got the blue. I'm thinking Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that's kind of where my mind went when I went with it, but who knows? There might be an actual different reason for it. Now, it took me a while to look this one up, but the shape of Denver International's runways if you get an aerial view from it, it actually looks like a giant fucking swastika.
Right, and that's kind of that's not a good look.
No, it's not. Now, mind you, when I looked it up, the reasoning for this was because of its high altitude, stuff like that, air being thinner. They made the runways that way, engineered intentionally, so that way, no matter which way the wind is blowing, there's always a runway that could be used for planes to land. Which I guess that makes sense. I'm no fucking engineer, but that makes sense. However, when you add in the artworks that had a Nazi figure in it with a gas mask and the fucking sword and AK, and then you all on top of that add a fucking swastika shaped fucking airport, it's not a good look, Denver. Okay, it's not a fucking good look. I'm just saying.
At all.
There are bunkers. Well, there's tunnels underneath, right? Now these tunnels, they're used for employees and ramp workers. Move luggage and things like that around and equipment. However, there are some theories that these tunnels might lead to secret underground bunkers of different sorts. One of which is in the Cheyenne Mountain in Colorado Springs, about 100 miles away from Denver International, which just so happens to be a NORAD bunker.
Holy shit. So you're saying one of the tunnels from the airport stretches 100 miles.
Yeah. So that's why this is a theory, because like everyone's disputed it and said there's no way. But there are some people who believe it, because if you go to this NORAD bunker in Cheyenne, it's built to deflect a 30 megaton nuclear explosion as close as 1.2 miles away.
NORAD's in Colorado Springs, right?
Yes. Okay. Within the mountain, though, the tunnel going to NORAD, it has several different areas where there's 25-ton blast doors also. Damn. To just help alleviate some pressure before it even gets to them. And then there's also its own separate civil engineering department underneath there. So if I do an episode about, deep underground military bases, don't be surprised, because that's probably next on the fucking list. One of the funniest theories was someone claiming that there are lizard people in those tunnels.
Really?
Yeah. Like, some reptilian human-shaped figures.
Well, we got the Ninja Turtles running around in Denver.
Yeah, basically. It's funny because a lot of the employees, they kind of embraced these conspiracy theories, and so they've gone out and bought lizard masks and tried running around down there. To me, it's funny. Like, you could even look at, like, even when they put something under construction, Denver International embraces these theories so much that they'll just say, under construction, Illuminati at work type of shit. Like, they'll throw it out there because they're like, fuck it.
So they're like, fuck it. If we aren't afraid of it, we're going to use it for publicity.
If we can't change their minds, might as well just fucking show some humor while we're at it.
What Denver sounds like, or Denver Airport sound like? It sound like a Fallout bunker. Did you watch that show?
The movie Fallout?
No,
or I mean the show?
The series? Show? Yeah, it sounds like that.
I've watched the first 3 episodes so far. Yeah. But I remember the game when I was younger too. Like, Fallout's an old game.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
But our 100-mile tunnels to it's like, what are they preparing for?
It's some pretty outrageous thoughts. It'd be even crazier if it's true.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
That's like saying, is Area 51 true?
Well, but we all know that shit's true now. Nobody disputes that anymore. They're like, we have Area 51. It's just a regular base. Like, that's what they try to play it off now, which we all know.
Sure.
We all know they got some crazy shit down there.
Out in the middle of nowhere. The fucking gate to enter is still, 15 miles from the actual spot?
Yeah, I was gonna say, even when you reach like the front gate, can you even see Area 51 from there?
At night, you can see all the lights there.
But that's it. Like, you can't see the buildings.
Like 15 miles away. It's like literally going towards nothing.
Damn,
it's a long drive. Yeah.
Well, hell, fuck that. I'm not gonna go mess around with that gate and get picked up on some bullshit.
Bruh,
you got me fucked.
People said they were gonna storm it. I was like, y'all must be doing meth. What do you mean you go storm?
The Methanonians came down from Pahrump to
like nah,
with,
tripping.
How you like this?
It's good.
So
real good.
This was like a bottle that came with like some frozen from freeze dried strawberries and raspberries
and strawberries in it, and it had some sweetener in it, and then it tells you here to just add gin. So we picked our gin that we wanted, which was also a
strawberry flavored Beefeater gin.
Yep, added it in there, and then it
and then we're mixing with Sprite.
Yeah, it's set to leave it in the fridge for
3 to 5 hours,
and then we mixed it with Sprite, and it's a delight.
So if you ever see this, not bad. But anyways, back on topic. Do you have anything else that you wanted to add about the airport that I might be forgetting?
No.
I know there's a ton of theories. A lot that go into really good detail as well. So I was kind of like surprised to see some of these things.
Yeah, just a lot of evolving the cult's terminers.
Yeah, I wouldn't get that, but yeah.
Side joke.
Let's just say to do the intro, I had to take a couple takes, and yeah, terminers became a word for me because yeah, I'm half retarded. But anyways, subscribe, share, show you care. We love you, motherfuckers. We out.